Hey guys, it's Laura here again. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the life and work of Anna Mendieta, an artist whose career was as powerful as it was tragically short. Mendieta's art was deeply personal, exploring themes of identity, displacement, nature, and the female body. This is a story of presence and of a woman who vanished, but whose voice still speaks through the marks she left behind. So let's get into it. Anna Mendieta was born on November 18, 1948 in Havana, Cuba. Her early life was shaped by political turmoil. After Fidel Castro's rise to power in 1959, Mendieta and her older sister Raquel were sent to the United States as part of Operation Pedro Pan, a program that relocated over 14,000 Cuban children to the US to escape communist influence. Anna was just 12 years old when she arrived in Iowa. Separated from her parents and her home country, she and her sister lived in orphanages and foster homes. That rupture, leaving home, losing language, being pulled out of place, became the soil of her work. Mendieta studied at the University of Iowa, where she initially focused on painting. However, it was there that she was introduced to the avant-garde intermedia program, which encouraged exploration beyond traditional art forms. She soon moved toward performance, sculpture, photography, and film media, which allowed her to explore her body as both a tool and a canvas. These forms gave her space to move, to grieve, to dig into her heritage and spiritual life. In 1971, she traveled to Mexico with one of her professors on an archaeological dig. It was her first time back in Latin America since her exile. There, surrounded by ruins and ritual sites, she reconnected with her cultural roots and opened up a deeper dialogue between her body and the land. In 1973, she performed a piece inside an overgrown Aztec tomb. She lay down, covered herself with white flowers, and let the place hold her. "I was covered by time and history," she said later. That experience planted the seed for her most iconic work. From 1973 to 1980, Anna Mendieta created the Silhouetta series, a powerful body of work that blended land art, performance, and photography. She used her own body or sculptural surrogates to form outlines in the earth: sand, mud, grass, volcanic rock. Sometimes she filled the silhouettes with flowers, leaves, blood, ash, or fire. These works were acts of presence and absence, a trace, a ritual, a burial. They mirrored her own life displacement, memory, and the longing to root herself in unfamiliar soil. Among them, Burial Pyramid, 1974, stands out. Mendieta shaped a human form from mud, then carefully covered it with white sand and built a low, rounded pyramid over the top using rocks and grass. The figure looks half-formed, half-erased, like a fossil caught mid-disappearance, a body offered back to the land, a soft refusal to the forgotten. These works reflect an impermanence, aligning with early environmental concerns. The earth holds the imprint, but never forever. Though rooted in performance, these works weren't made for a live audience. Mendieta staged them for the camera. Photographs and Super 8 film were the only way they could be experienced. There's no witness in the moment, only the trace that remains. What we're left with are these ghostly imprints: the earth she touched, the still image that captured it, and the moving film that lets the moment breathe a little longer. In the same year she began the Silhouettas, Mendieta created some of her most intense and confrontational works. Rape Scene 1973 was staged in her apartment. She invited her classmates, who arrived to find her bent over, half naked, tied to a table smeared in blood. She didn't move, she didn't speak. The performance responded to the real rape and murder of the student at the University of Iowa, Sarah Ann Otten. She wasn't interpreting the event, she forced it into the room. She made people sit with it. Later that year, she took her artwork into a public space with Moffat Building piece. She smeared animal blood across the stoop of a university building, then sat in a parked car nearby. To watch people's reactions, almost no one stopped. No one called the police. The blood went largely unnoticed. These works were not staged for gallery walls, they were acts of exposure, pointing directly at the ways violence is normalized, unseen, or simply ignored. She made the violence visible. She made the silence around it impossible to look away from, unless, of course, she chose to. Mendieta called her genre earth body art. She used her body as a vessel. She merged with nature to create ephemeral, site-specific works that explored the sacred relationship between land and spirit, the human and the divine. Her art in forests, rivers, volcanic rock, temporary, ritualistic, intimate. Her work was deeply influenced by Afro-Caribbean spirituality, especially Santeria. Blood, fire, flowers, stone, each material held symbolic weight. Some of her silhouettes were ignited with gunpowder and set alight, transforming her outline into flame. She called on ancestors and spirits. She saw land as sacred, as alive. In Untitled Body Tracks 1974, she dipped her arms in blood and dragged them down a white wall, leaving raw streaks of red. The piece evoked ritual sacrifice, gendered violence, and political trauma, all present in her lived experience as an exiled woman. Though often aligned with the feminist art movement of the 1970s, Mendieta's approach was different, less polemic, more instinctive. She reclaimed the female body, marked and scarred. Her works didn't ask for permission. They wept, they burned, they endured. She didn't explain her work through theory. She said, "I have been carrying on a dialogue between the landscape and the female body. I am overwhelmed by the feeling of having been cast from the womb, nature. My art is the way I re-establish the bonds that unite me to the universe." In 1978, Mendieta joined AIR Gallery, the first gallery in the US run by and for women. It was a radical space of solidarity and experimentation. Through AIR, she found a network of artists pushing the boundaries of what art could be. She became close with Nancy Sparrow, Mary Beth Elderson, and Carolee Schneemann, artists who, like her, believed in the body as sight and symbol. The same year, Mendieta moved to New York, where she met minimalist sculptor Carl Andre. Their relationship was a clash of opposites. Mendieta was intuitive and elemental, Andre calculated and stripped down. The relationship was turbulent, on and off, but eventually they married. In 1983, Mendieta spent time in Italy, where she discovered studio-based sculpture and began experimenting with new materials. For 2 years, she moved between Italy and New York. These were years of growth. Her work shifted, still grounded in ritual and the body, but now exploring permanence, weight, and structure. She was evolving, she was excited, a new chapter was beginning. But on September 8, 1985, Anna Mendieta fell to her death from the 34th floor of the apartment she shared with Carl Andre. She was 36. Andre was charged with her murder, then acquitted in trial that remains controversial. To this day, many in the art world believe that Mendieta's death was not an accident. Her death left a void, but her work remains a powerful testament to the search for belonging, identity, and spiritual connection. Feminist groups and artists continue to honor her legacy with the phrase, "Where is Anna Mendieta?" The question is carved into gallery walls and shouted at art institutions that continue to elevate men like Andre while erasing women like her. But Mendieta never truly disappears. Her work lingers, a silhouette in the dirt, a scorch mark in the grass, an echo in the land. Anna Mendieta's art was about the body, its connection to the earth, its vulnerability and its strength. Through her work, she explored what it means to belong to a place, to a culture, to a body. Even decades after her death, her work still speaks to the deep, complicated truths of identity and exile. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think about Anna Mendieta's art. Do you think her work was a spiritual act, a feminist statement, or both? I'll see you on the next one. Bye!